One of the most rewarding ways that you can use your emotional intelligence is through relationship building. I absolutely adore relationship building. I didn't understand earlier in my career how effective and rewarding it could be, not just on a professional level, but on a personal level. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that now and how that is going to help you as a strategic, be a strategic business partner to your executive, and how it's going to help you with your career growth in general. So getting to know people, it can seem daunting to some, especially if you're an introvert, if you're shy. But as someone who is a serving leader, who's someone that is in a leadership role, which you are if you are in this type of role, but you have a service-based heart, then we have a knack for this typically, in that we can read people's moods. We will dive in when we know someone is not quite getting what they need, and we can read them and ask them questions and get to know them a little bit better. We are people. We go in and find out what people really like. We know executives' preferences to things, but not just theirs, but we know our desk buddy. We know Frank in the mailroom. We know a particular client likes gardenias. We know that so-and-so has been having issues with their housekeeping company, and that we've helped suggest something for them because we want to be helpful. So we're always kind of have this radar kind of projecting out at all times, trying to pick up this information. Now that can be really useful to you and to your company and executive. And so I'm going to give you a few tips here on building relationships. Now, one is always come in with an intent that you are trying to help them achieve their goals. That you're not just going in there from a selfish standpoint, and that you just are collecting people and you want to get to know people so you can leverage it for yourself and to get what you want. That is going to be seen through very quickly. And if it's not, it will come back to bite you eventually. But typically, most people can feel when someone's being inauthentic and pushy and too intrusive in their questioning, too personal, and it feels like an assault. But when someone comes in with the best of intentions and they just want to get to know that person, want to get to know that company, then there is this beautiful blossoming relationship that happens. And the more of a positive impression that you make, and the more helpful you can be, and the more intelligent and expert problem solver that you can be by suggesting different things to these people, can really leave this imprint that you become the person that's the go-to person, even for clients. I know companies that have poached assistants because they were like, I need someone like so-and-so. And then they just said, hey, so-and-so, we have a position, or I've just moved up and I'm able to take on an assistant. And are you happy where you are? I've seen these things happen, and that's because of the relationships that were organically built. Now, how do you foster these relationships? How do you make sure that you are building these organic relationships that come out of this positive intent? I've created for you here a relationship building questionnaire with some of the questions in the area of what I like to ask. So I really like to find out more about what's their everyday life like, and kind of what are their pressures and their positives about where they're working and what's kind of going on in their life. Try not to delve too deeply into their life unless you get to know the person a little bit more. You're in a more casual setting. Maybe you're going for lunch, but it's you just don't go in with the hard questions. So, do you have a wife? Where do you live? How many kids? You don't do that. But you say, okay, so I hear you've got this big project going on. Is it, how is this going to affect your company if this works out positively, what are you looking forward to in this project? And then they say, oh, they might offer up a little bit of personal information. Oh, if I land this, I'm going to get a really nice bonus for the year. And at the holidays, I can finally get away and take my family to the Canary Islands. Fabulous. Have you gone there before? What age are your kids? Will you be going to like a family resort? But just finding out a little bit more about them. And then later, if the project does go well, you can say to your boss, I know this person's looking forward to going to the Canary Islands when this project closes. And they have children this age and this age. And then maybe you send them some type of luxury, some kind of gift voucher or something to a luxury beachwear company, or you send them a package of tropical fruits and coconuts and say, enjoy your trip to the Maldives or to the Canary Islands or whatever. And just something that's like, they listened, I was heard, this person cares, this company cares. And that is what's going to build lasting, strong relationships. And that is going to help your executives see your strengths in these connections that you make. I personally know the executive assistant at very big companies, one of the largest cosmetic companies in the world, one of the biggest AI companies in the world, one of the largest candy bar companies in the world. And having my executive meet their executive is a big deal. So building these relationships, not only with clients, with the people around you, with your executive, but with networking with other assistants as well, could really benefit your company, again, out of positive and pure intent of wanting to help and be of service, is going to naturally reward you. You'll start to make the connections between different people and be able to better suggest solutions to problems, or people to connect them with to provide solutions to problems, and you will have more commercial value to your company. Now, I've created this relationship building questionnaire for you. And again, I've said it's got a whole bunch of questions in it that just are meant to help steer you or inspire you. You don't have to ask them exactly how they are. I've given you space to put in your own. And this essentially is your assignment for this course or for this lesson. But I'd really love to know what you're going to add to this. And if you're someone who's shy or is an introvert, then start slow. Just put a bowl of sweets on your desk, and people will come by to take one, and they'll start to have conversations with you. Start to have conversations with your coffee shop. Just find out if you can find out their name, or maybe how long they've worked there. Just try and see how far you can get each time. And when they see you, will they remember your name? Start slow, but this is one of the most rewarding things you can possibly do. There are people out there that are like massive collectors, and they're like, you'll use my guy. I know this person. You can tell that like they thrive off of collecting people in an almost fanatic way. What we're trying to do is a step below that. We're trying to do it in an organic and helpful way. And one other tip I have for you in this particular area, beside all the questions that I've given you here to kind of get you inspired, is when I onboard new employees, one of the very first things that I do is send them a questionnaire. I send them a Google form or a Microsoft form with particular questions about their dietary requirements, their travel requirements, because I know I'll probably be booking travel for them at some point. And then I also ask what to them is, how do they treat themselves? What is a nice gift or a reward for them? What would they consider a nice gift or reward for them if they had accomplished something? Some people it's cigars and bourbon. Some people it's a new video game. For someone else, it might be, or someone like me, it's candles, fuzzy socks, spa treatments, anything that makes me feel warm and cozy and relaxed is on my list. And I make sure that whenever I onboard anyone that I'm prepared. And it's a great way to get to know someone. If they have a very particular hobby like golf or cigars or they really love makeup and makeup tutorial videos, then you can get to know them a little bit more. You can dive just a little bit into their world, and they will appreciate it so much if suddenly they receive a gift or something, or some kind of acknowledgement, or you just have strike a conversation with them around that particular area, that they feel heard and seen, and it builds this positive bond, right? And I also do this with my executive. When I give them their executive questionnaire, I ask them the same question, because all the time as an assistant, I get asked about this. For my executive, what do they like? What kind of wine do they like? Do they like golfing? Will they do this? Blah, blah, blah. Then I am absolutely prepared for that. And I make sure that I offer that information up as well very early on in the conversation, because I know people also, when it comes to the holidays, or if I've done really well on a project, if I'm working for the right company, then they're likely going to want to reward me in some way. And so I make sure that I have worked on in conversation as well, again, from positive intent, because I don't want anyone to struggle. I don't want anyone to be like, what do we do? What can we get her? I hate seeing that. So I try and kind of organically get that information, so I am fully prepared, or I'm helping prepare others subtly for what they need when I know it's going to come up. I've just had so many experiences now that that's come up, that I now work that in. And it's one of the best tips I can give you if you are ever involved in onboarding. And it's a great relationship builder. It really opens up some avenues for communication and bonding and trust.